Hey guys, how are you today? Today we're going to be talking about, and I got notes just to let y'all know, herpes, comets versus us. If you want to hear more about that, I'll be back in a second. Okay, thank you. So with that being said, guys, it's because you have, or find someone that can really go and share Alright guys, as y'all know, I am the STD Life Coach, Belize Spivey. I am here to serve you. If you have herpes, know somebody with herpes, or simply just want to learn things about herpes, or you just want to know it, just to know, which I think is a good thing. So today we're talking about negative comments versus us. As we know, the stigma of herpes is so heavy. It is the main reason why living with herpes is very difficult. It makes it very hard because you read things on social media, you read things in blogs, you read things in support groups on Google and different things like that, and it really takes a toll. It really starts hitting you, making you feel like, is that who I am? Do people really think that? And as much as we say, I don't care what nobody think about me, I don't care, you're a lie. Everybody cares about what people say. My whole thing, that is one of our important beings, feeling belong, feeling like people care about us. So stop neglecting human nature to say you don't care. And I mean, if you don't care, you got a problem. I'm just being honest, because at the end of the day, we do not want to be looked negatively on. We don't want to be looked as like nasty and disgusting like that, especially when you know that's not the type of person you are. It just seems that you made a bad decision pertaining to who you pick to have sex with, or you pick to trust. So my whole thing is, guys, we have to get out of that mindset thinking that it's okay not to care what people think. No, to a certain extent you don't want to care, because at the end of the day, if they don't know you, they can't judge you. Okay, my whole thing is, if you feel like you're connecting with the things that they're saying, then that's how you feel about yourself. So that goes into the negative comments that we read all the time. And let's just spit out some of the stuff we hear, that people with herpes is nasty, you're promiscuous, you should have had a condom on, you a hoe, you a slut, you a thought, it's your fault, you should have known better, at least it ain't HIV, at least you got that, it's a way you can cure it, you just ain't doing your work. It's just so much that can be said about you. If you should have known better, you should have asked more questions, you should have looked at it, you should have got tested. All of these things that we hear pertaining to people who live with herpes, us. And we look at this stuff like, oh my God, if you knew my situation, you wouldn't be so quick to say those things. So with that being said, I want you to ask yourself, then why are you listening to it? Why are you taking it in? Why are you allowing it to really bog you down, especially when you know it doesn't align with your story? And then for my young ladies and young men who some of that stuff is what happened to you, you knew you didn't use a condom. You knew you should have asked more questions. You knew in the pit of your stomach something was going on. You just knew something wasn't right. My thing is, don't beat yourself up about it. Say, you know what? They right. I wish I would have asked more questions. I wish I would have used condoms. But then you got to ask yourself why you did it. And that's another thing. Start questioning yourself. You see information, question yourself about it and say, why is this bothering me? Why is this getting the best of me? Ask yourself them. Don't be trying to like, oh, I'm just sick of looking at all these negative comments. Well, they're only negative to you because they're bothering you. It may not bother me. I may read something like whatever, and then some stuff may bother me. And I gotta ask myself, why does it bother me? And that's what we fail to do. We fail to ask ourselves, why am I being bothered by negative comments? Because if you have accepted yourself like you need to, if you love yourself the way you need to, it shouldn't really bother you. Yeah, it irks your nerves to read stuff, but if you know who you are, you have accepted where you are, you accepted your story, then why are you continuing to be bothered by negative comments? If you are still bothered, it's because it's something that's striking your nerve, and you need to take the time and figure out what nerve it is and what's causing the nerve to be striked. But we don't talk about it. We all just like, oh, that bothered me. And you want people to get on your bandwagon. I'm going to call us out because we do this, especially in support groups. We want folks to get on our bandwagon about why we don't like stuff. But then nobody going to question you why it keep bothering you. Haha. That's why I come in and I ask you, why you keep being bothered, girl? What's really going on? And when I really get into your business, like, girl, that bothers me because I wish, somebody had told me. I wish somebody had stopped me from being in this situation. But my whole thing, you can wish all you want to, and I love you dearly, but it still happened. But that don't have to keep you, and you have to keep reminding yourself of woulda, coulda, I wish it coulda, why it didn't, why me. Stop holding yourself bound. My whole thing, worrying about the past ain't gonna change the present. Worrying about the past ain't gonna change the present. The only thing you can do is say, you know what, I'm not going to do those things no more, and I'm going to do something different. My behavior is going to be different. My mindset is going to be different. My demeanor is going to be different. The things I do is going to be different. But if you still focus on that, I'm sorry, your past will repeat itself if you focus on it. If you focus on all the negativity behind it, all the things that happen, you'll mess around and make the same decision that you have made. I know I have talked to many ladies who say, girl, I'm not going to mess around and not disclose again and focus on it, or beating herself all up, or they were beating themselves all up, and turned around and did the exact same thing. You know why you did the exact same thing? Because you didn't learn from your first mistake. You didn't learn from it. You were so ashamed. You were so focused on it, but you never took the time to say, you know what, why did I make that bad decision? Why did I make that bad decision? And how can I keep myself from making that bad decision again? Okay? So my whole thing today, I want you guys to take some time, and when you see a comment, ask yourself. Don't get caught up in the comment. Don't get caught up in the person who said the comment. Don't be trying to bash them like, well, they ain't got no right to be talking about nothing. I know who they is. I know they like that. You being petty. My whole thing, that ain't the point. It's bothering you for a reason. So you need to take some time to ask yourself, why is this bothering me? Journal about it. Talk to somebody. Call your friend. Say, girl, I seen a post today. It didn't bother me. It really, really bothered me. It got under my skin, and I need to figure out why. And let your friend ask you some questions. Sometimes we need somebody to pull the answer, pull the root out of us, because sometimes we don't know why we're still bothered. We don't know why it still get the best of us. But that's why you need somebody who's willing to work with you and pull out of you and love on you enough to find out what the real issue is. Stop being on the surface about just a comment. Guys, when we see stuff on social media that bothers us, it's for a reason. And don't say, oh, I just don't like ignorant stuff. I don't like. Okay, none of us like ignorant stuff. But it bothers you. It's something about it that's bothering you. And you need to ask yourself, why is that bothering you? Ask yourself why. I know some stuff on social media bother me, and I got to check myself and ask myself, Bliss, why is that bothering you so much? Why are you so phased out about a person who don't even know you? Why are you so phased about somebody saying something because that's their opinion? They got the right to say what they want to say based off the information they know. And let's go with that. The comments that are being said are based off ignorance. Ignorance is bliss. Why are you worrying about people talking about something they don't know nothing about? Let's be honest. You read the comments based off people who are very educated about herpes. It's because they know somebody or they're going through it themselves. But the people who are just saying ignorant stuff, you look at them like, if you only knew, you wouldn't be saying it. And this is my opportunity to uplift y'all now. If you see a negative comment, combat it with something positive. You ain't got to out yourself. It's not about outing yourself. The same way you'll go on about somebody with talking about, it's the same reason why, it's the same thing where we go on and we see the stuff about people do stuff on love and hip hop, and we go back and forth and back. We're like, well, that's not the situation, and you didn't see it this way. It's the same way you need to get onto these posts and say, hey, let me give you a little education about herpes. This is how it functions. This is what happens with it. Different things like that. But if you continue to get caught up in the negative connotations behind it and not really do anything about it, then it's going to keep happening. And most of us are so scared to even comment on a comment. Especially when it pertains to something that's dealing with you, especially this, I don't want nobody to think I have it. They don't know you. How would they know that? Let's be honest. They don't know nothing about you. How would they know that? Just like you comment on everything else and give knowledge on stuff, then you need to give knowledge on that. You want it to change. You want to reduce the negative comments. You know how to reduce the negative comment. Combat it with something positive. Negativity, it will continue to flow if you don't combat it with nothing. Combat it with positivity. Do your due diligence. You know everything about herpes now. Just talk about what you do know. If somebody say, oh man, you can get it from a toilet seat, you're like, I'm sorry, you cannot get it from a toilet seat. And then go get them some research. Find it on Google and post a link. Guys, if you don't want to do that, post a link. Post a link. So simple. Post a link. And let them read it on their own. But you sitting there and being so focused on it and not doing anything, it's not helping. It's not helping. It's going to happen again. And you know what's going to happen? You're going to get an attitude again. And you're going to be mad again. And you're going to be talking about it again. And you'll be still stuck because you could have said something and say, you know what, I did my due diligence. Nope, I didn't like how it was said, but I said something about it. I feel better because I did something. But you sitting there because you so in your feelings about what you feel and not even doing no work for what you feel. And now you wanna, I don't like that. It bothers me. I'm so sick of seeing this stuff on Facebook. Then do something. I'm telling y'all, I'm not picking on y'all. I'm not picking on y'all. I don't want y'all to feel like I'm picking on y'all in any way. But I tell y'all, I see so much stuff, but then you turn around and don't do nothing. Or somebody will talk to you about it, but then you still don't do no work to fix you. And then you back to doing the exact same thing. Change your behavior. You want to see something, then you got to change the behavior. You got to change your behavior. Not the other person's behavior, but your behavior. Stop getting so bothered. Come on. We're living our best life. My best life. I'm just saying, live your best life and don't give a freak. Okay? Don't give a hot hoot about what people are saying, but you can't live your best life, especially living with herpes, if you're so focused on negative comments. You can't. It's no way. It ain't no way. No way. You're going to get so balled out every time somebody says something. It's time for you to do something. So I'm going to help you. I have said a lot. So I'm going to just do a quick little recap. Number one, ways to do this is find out when you see a negative comment. Number one, ask yourself, why am I bothered? What are they saying that bothers me? Is it pertaining to my character? Is it pertaining to my situation, even how I got that? Let me ask myself before I even get so mad at them. Let me figure out why I am bothered. After you figure out what's bothered with you, do something. Make a comment. Give them some information. Find somebody on their post who are saying some information that's wrong and go ahead and combat that with positivity information. So now you say, you know, I know why it bothered me and now I have done something to solve the problem. Is it going to change right off? No, that person may come around and post something else about herpes. But if you see somebody keep posting about herpes all the time, may want to consider that they may have it or bothered by it. I'm just saying. But I'm just saying, those two things are very important. Number one, find out why it's bothering you. Do your own self-work before you speak on anybody else. And number two, do something about it. Give some information. Educate them so they won't stop making the negative comments. No. Close the door. So they can stop making the negative comments from now on. Simple. You can do it. I know it's hard. I know it bothers you. But my thing is, guys, I've been there. I've been on YouTube for 3 years. In these 3 years, I wanted to cuss people out. I wanted to go off on people. As y'all can see on my first video, and this is just a transparent moment. In the beginning, I did not comment. I didn't say stuff back because it bothered me. It irked me because people felt like they can say what they want to do. And I had to ask myself, Belize, why are you still bothered? You don't came out. What you still bothered for? People going to speak on what they know. So after a while, I didn't say nothing. And as I built myself up and got myself to a point where you don't be bothered. Don't be bothered. They're going to speak on what they think they know. When I got to that point, then I started commenting. I said, oh, absolutely. I see where you're coming from. I agree with that. And I combated it with a positive, with the correct information. And they be like, oh, okay, I understand. And we both walked away with understanding, not with bickering and arguing. I didn't focus on what they felt like they knew. I focused on what I felt like it was correct information, or I understood where they were coming from, and combated it with my truth and also with information that was solid. I'm trying to tell you, I've been there, done that. I ain't talking from a place of I don't understand. I completely understand, but I'm also going to get on us and call us out on the stuff that we keep doing and we keep talking to each other about. Close that. My whole thing is, guys, you just have to completely understand that you can combat these negative comments, but we have to do the work for it. So I'm just calling us out. Work on yourself. Do your self-work. And then do our work as a community to combat the stigma of herpes. So I love you guys. I'm happy you were on here. I hope this helped. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you share this information with somebody who is really dealing with these negative comments. And as you know, you'll see me soon.